industry. The goal was to collect information from folks, information security leaders in a wide. What we found is that smart people, not just enabling technologies at work, but smart people, very important to having an effective cybersecurity strategy. And specifically, smart people are people who have the right technical education, may hold certifications like CISSP or CISA, or they basically recognizing the technical expertise of the individual. It's really interesting that people that had knowledge of hacking, white hat, was in fact viewed as more important than many other skill sets. What was really low on our list, which was actually pretty surprising to me, was compliance skills, or even people who were in a law enforcement environment were viewed as having a skill set was less valuable. So compliance and law enforcement, all important, but much less important than having technical expertise and maybe being knowledgeable about what hackers do. That's going to help you defend yourself against bad. Mobile technologies and mobile security was in fact lower than other security aspects. And what we found is that clearly mobile security is a big problem. And it's a problem not only today, but it's a problem that's probably going to grow in magnitude. And it's more than about technology, it's also about mobile workforce. But the number one issue, I think uniformly addressed by respondents in our study, was having intelligence about your network and your enterprise system. Understanding traffic patterns, understanding all the good and bad stuff that's in your network, and having a mechanism for isolating the problems and fixing it quickly. So network intelligence, staying ahead of the attack, when it's still vulnerability, it's not an attack yet, that seems to be a technology feature that's viewed as more important than mobile security. We found that a very large percentage, I think it's 60% of respondents, believe that their organizations or their industries were susceptible to a very significant cyber attack that would actually bring down mission-critical applications sometime in the next 2 years. Now, the odds are that this is probably going to happen, but the general acknowledgement was that these organizations, with their best attempt, would be unable to defend themselves against this kind of attack. And this attack could not only be an attack to the company or the organization, but it could actually affect the national critical infrastructure. There's this myth that security investments can be best measured with ROI. And folks in IT leaders measure their investments in IT, new software applications, new hardware using ROI, and that's fine. But the difference is that security is a stochastic process, and applying a process model like ROI locks you in to investments that may in fact no longer be valuable to an organization. Just think, today you buy a product and it defends the organization from certain types of attacks. But a year from now, the attack vector shifts completely, and what you purchased a year ago is no longer valuable. So why even think about an ROI measure for that? It doesn't make sense. If you take the ROI seriously, you're probably going to be underfunding some very, very serious. I've never seen ROI as an appropriate model. In terms of security of Web 2.0, the train left the station. And let me just tell you that you're never going to get an organization to stop using technologies and tools that people want to use to basically say you can't use Facebook or MySpace or Twitter or geolocation tools. You're not going to. You can't stop it. You can have policies that say you're not allowed to use it, but you can't possibly police those policies with every possible end user. So the moral of the story is accept that as a reality and come up with a defensive strategy. Make sure the applications are secure, make sure that the users understand the security risk, maybe have whitelisting technology so the applications that are currently really severe, really risky, are prevented from the workplace. But short of that, you have to accept it and you have to build strategies to deal with it. Look, today it's about Web 2.0. A year from now, 2 years from now, it's going to be something else. So build a process for dealing in new technologies before they become huge security risks for the organization.